Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the FRI Radio. Today I've got one of our students here to join me. This is Pollyanna. She previously studied a level 3 design course with us, and now she is studying one of our level 4 digital marketing courses. So in this episode we're going to talk all about her course, her transition from level 3 into level 4. So hi Pollyanna, welcome back.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me.
So let's talk about your level 3 course.
Yes.
So you originally studied design and really enjoyed it?
Yeah, so I did level 3 design before and I loved it. Obviously did like a lot of women's wear focused design, and that was like really getting stuck into it, like doing drawing, sewing, and I did really enjoy that. So my new course, it's been quite a jump.
Yeah. So what made you go for digital marketing compared to design?
I think I just wanted another course under my belt.
Yeah.
I wanted a little bit more experience. I do a lot of content creation and marketing for the FRA, and so I thought that it was a suitable course for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do enjoy doing it. I do enjoy creating content, doing social media, and so I thought that why not give it a go. And especially with the new building and stuff, even though I wasn't going off to a new institution, it did feel like a change. With the new building and new course, new teachers, new friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, it is still a big change.
Yeah, 100%.
When you were in level 3, when you were coming to the end and you were thinking, right, what are my next steps? Were you straight away wanting to do the level 4? Did you consider university? Did you consider a job?
So I did consider university, and I think I mentioned in the podcast before that I'm such a homebody.
Yeah.
Like, I love being at home, and so it was so convenient for me to join this course. But it wasn't just about convenience. I did also definitely want to do marketing. So I think even if I went off to a university, I might have gone into that content creation side of things anyways.
Yeah.
So it just seemed right to continue my studies at the FRA and do digital marketing here. And I think where I'm so familiar with the teachers and, sort of how things work and what we're expected of here, it just seemed right to continue my studies here for an extra year.
Is there any reason why? So we've got in our level 4 courses, we've got fashion, retail with marketing, and then we've got digital marketing. Did you look at both of those, or were you quite sure it was digital marketing?
So I did look at a few courses. I also looked into garment tech because I felt that was the closest to fashion design that level 4 offers. But yeah, I was just oohing and ahhing about them all, but I definitely looked into digital marketing the most, and that's what I felt I kept getting drawn back to because it just ticked all my boxes. And I did look into the retail one as well, retail with marketing, but because I'd already done that design for 2 years, it just seemed right to just do the marketing side of it, because obviously there would have been people that had been carried on from retail over to retail and marketing, and I didn't want to feel almost behind a little bit, so that's why I stuck to just the digital marketing and the content side of it.
Right, so the transition has been absolutely fine.
The transition's been fine, even though it's like first day back and all stuff like that, I wasn't nervous because I knew that everyone's in the same boat. Even the people that have done 2 years already, like myself, or even 3, some people have done 3 years already, everyone was in the same boat with the new building and new group leader.
Yeah.
So I knew that I wasn't totally alone.
So tell me how the transition has been from studying design, very practical, very hands-on, to now marketing, which is on the computer. There is creativity involved, but a kind of different creativity, would you say?
100%. It has been a big change. I think it is still quite early days to sort of say which course I loved more or what I fit into a little bit more. But yeah, I'm enjoying the change, and I think there is definitely opportunities for me to get my creative side into that like techie side of marketing a little bit more, because even at the moment I'm working in a group, and we've got a presentation coming up, and you just sort of distribute everyone's things
to their strengths.
100%. Like even like with mood boards and the visual creative side of it, I'm like, oh, I don't mind doing that because that's one of my strengths. And then the writing and the business side of it, the retail girls are much better at. So I think it's all just about like distributing it well, and when you're working in like within a group, sort of doing what your strengths are better.
Yeah, exactly.
100%, and knowing what you're going to flourish in a little bit more.
Yeah. So what are you working on at the moment in your course?
So we're currently doing a project, I think it's called gamification.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to say that, and it's not. I'm almost certain it is, and it's basically we're selecting a brand and making like an app/game out of that.
So what's your concept?
So our concept, we are doing Hermes.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's how you say it. I never know. I'm calling it Hermes everything. So we've just been doing mind maps, and I'm always sort of thinking about little ideas, you know, if I'm in the shower, or I always have like little ideas. And so I came up with the idea of calling our app How Do You Hermes. So it's basically going to be like a little styling app where, so do you remember those school shoes that had the little dolls?
The
little Polly pockets,
something like that.
That kind of vibe. One of those little icons where you can say, for instance, you had a pair of Hermes sandals. If you want to dress it up, you go on the How Do You Hermes app, and you can see how people have styled it. So if you want like a casual like beach day vibe, you can have a look, because I'm forever on Pinterest typing in chill autumn outfits, knowing what to wear to college and stuff like that, because, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm just being an outfit repeater.
Yeah.
So a little app where you can see, if you have a belt, how you can dress it down, how you can dress it up. Almost like a Bitmoji kind of vibe, like on Snapchat. You can make your own icon and just see how you can style little bits. And we're going to try and make it like a little bit exclusive and the same as Hermes, and just try and make it a little bit more like user friendly, especially with the whole Birkin situation, how it's so hard to get your hands on a Birkin. Help like users, you know, have access to Hermes products a little bit more and a bit easier. But that's just like our rough draft at the moment. And then we've got some really good creative people and like really smart-minded people in my group, so I'm sure that it's going to flourish into a lot more. But that's just like this is our day one draft, so this is what we've had just from today, basically.
Right, okay.
So I'm excited to see sort of where we're all going to take it.
Are there any modules that you know are coming up that you're quite excited for? Because I remember when I was looking at the degree, I remember just seeing digital and social media marketing module, and I was like, okay, I'm going to pick this one. Is there any that happened to you as well?
So not particularly, but I am super excited for industry placement, because that's not something that we were offered on a design course. And, you know, I love getting stuck in and actually getting into the work sort of life. And so I'm really excited for that in March, I believe.
Okay.
Having a bit of industry placement, and, you know, the amount of people I've spoken to have said, I did work experience here, I did industry placement here, and then by the end of it they offered me a job for September. And so I'm excited to see where that could take me, or even if it's just, you know, to gain knowledge that I wouldn't be able to get from anywhere else.
I suppose that's amazing that when in the level 4s, because the course is only 1 year, when you're about to do your work placement, like you say, you are going to be finishing soon. So it's like that work placement opportunity is amazing to try and
100%.
get a job, or them to ask you to come back because you're only finishing in a few months' time. That's crazy. I feel like the year is going to go so quickly.
It's going to go so quickly. Like, how is it almost October already? It's crazy. Like,
do you have like any goals in this year, like anything that you really wanted new to learn? Are you going to start to look for jobs soon? Do you know what sort of route you're going to take when it comes to jobs?
So I do like my own personal content creation for my own social media. I do like TikTok. I get gifted things. I do collabs where I promote products on my own page. And so I think this year I just really want to grow my own platform. And my teacher, she's great. Like, I've been having so many conversations with her about her. She used to work for John Lewis and about how they had their strategies. And I think she's going to be so helpful to me, teaching me what's good.
Yes, you're going to be able to learn a bit about influencer marketing and how the brands do it.
And then I can do it for myself.
Exactly. So you got a bit of inside knowledge, essentially.
Exactly. So, you know, obviously I can use that for brands when I do start going into industry placement, and when I start actually working in the fashion industry and doing it for a brand. But I think for the meantime, I might sort of use that knowledge to benefit myself a little bit.
Definitely.
So I'm excited to learn some skills, and I think that's sort of my goal for this year. Since September, I've sort of thought, okay, I want to push my account now, because before it was a bit of a hobby and I enjoyed it so much. I love doing TikToks and I love posting, but now I'm like, no, I actually really enjoy this and I see myself doing this a little bit more. So I think I want to use this year where, it's only 1 year left. I'm going to use this year to build it up, and then who's to say that maybe in September that's what I could do just for myself.
But that's amazing.
Who knows.
And the amazing thing is even if that did fail, you've got 2 qualifications under your belt, design and marketing. So you've got loads of jobs that you could potentially go into.
And I think they're so different from each other, but yet so similar at the same time, because it's again like all about that creative side, and you've got to have a certain type of brain to be able to think, okay, what are people gonna like? Even with design, you always have to think, okay, well, what are people gonna want to buy? You're not gonna design something that no one wants. You're always having to think that sort of mindset. I think that they're aligning really well so far, and already I'm using skills from design in my work now.
Oh, really? That's good. What skills?
Just like visual imagery and things like that. So mood boards, visual boards, sort of knowing colour schemes, what fabrics work together, like fabric boards, colour boards. I think that visual side of it, I've learned sort of what's good, and last year I got a bit of an eye for that. So
it's amazing. You're going to have such a wide skill set.
Hopefully.
Honestly, it's going to be huge. Is there anything that you weren't sort of aware of, didn't know about the level 4 digital marketing course before you were on the course?
I think I wasn't aware of the statistics.
Right.
So in secondary school, I always hated maths. I didn't really get on with science that well, because just like techie sides of it, like that STEM kind of stuff, maths I'd never flourished in at all. I got it for my GCSE, I got that done, but I never particularly enjoyed it, and so I don't think I realised how many statistics there were going to be with the business side of it. But that's something again that throughout the year and throughout this course I'll get better in. But when you first see all them numbers on a screen, it is daunting. 100%, but it's something that I'm sure that...
So what projects have you had to do, like essentially data analytics, sort of like reading numbers? Where has that come up?
So we, for our challenge week, this was not last week, the week before, we did Selfridges versus John Lewis.
Okay.
So we took a trip to Selfridges, then to John Lewis, and we were just comparing what people prefer, what is the better shop, basically. And so we had to obviously get statistics from the general public.
Oh, okay.
I put an Instagram poll on my story saying, what's your age? Do you prefer Selfridges or John Lewis, and how old are you?
Yeah.
And then from that, we've got to put that into statistics and say, okay, well, people who were this age range preferred this shop, people who were this age range preferred this shop.
Yeah.
And then from that is a little bit more like technical, and it's not just all like taking pictures and saying,
it's not the creative side.
No, but you're going to have something in every job, and in everything you do, you're going to have something that you don't prefer doing it as much. Like last year, I wouldn't like doing some of the writing aspects, and so I would put all my eggs in one basket, and I would flourish in like the stuff I like doing, and not focus on the things that I didn't like doing as much.
Yeah.
But then that definitely showed in my work, and I could recognise that.
Yeah.
And so then, like in my weekly journals, I would say, maybe I need to spend more time on the things I don't like doing as much.
Yeah.
Than supposed to what I do enjoy doing, because, I can do what I enjoy doing with flying colours. I can fly through that. But, I just need to sort of focus on the things I don't enjoy doing as much, because when you don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to ever do as well in it. So I think with the whole statistics side of it, that's something that I'll probably focus on a little bit more, and maybe try and seek help from my group leader and just say.
Even as you get older, I think you might think, oh, actually, it's not as bad as I remembered.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think it's it's just all the big numbers, isn't it? And all the big charts. When you first see that, it's like, oh God, what's going on here? But it's never too difficult, and there's always going to be someone that can help you out.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I think working with data can sometimes be a bit easier than being super creative. Because I think when for example, in some of the marketing modules, it's like, create a marketing campaign. It's like, oh my God, where do I start? Whereas I had a consumer and data module, and we basically got loads and loads of data, and we had to basically spot patterns. And it was like, because there was like a direct answer and we had data to back it up, I actually found it easier than thinking, where do I start with a campaign? Sometimes being too creative is really challenging.
Yeah. And I think, nowadays, you can put it in a computer and it can help you out, So, so I won't be completely alone on that one.
I think that's just definitely a skill that you're going to get a lot better with, especially in this module. I feel like they'll probably teach you, this course, they'll probably teach you a lot easier ways to read data and spot patterns and things like that.
Yeah,
I suppose the challenge week, that must have been your first week?
Yes, so challenge week was my first week.
So that must have been a really good task to get out
and chat to
all your new classmates.
Yeah, and it definitely broke the ice with everyone straight away. Right, guys, get into groups. And then we had to go to Bond Street. Everyone's at the station together. You just get chatting. And I think the FRA is really special in that aspect, that straight away they just want to make a family. And they're just so eager to get everyone. And they have their little ways of sort of doing that, because had I hadn't gone to Selfridges on my first week with that group of girls, maybe we wouldn't be so close as we are in this present week. And I think as well, for people who joined FRA this year and haven't done the previous years, it's like straight away, this is so cool. Our work is to literally go to Selfridges and take pictures and videos. That's so cool.
Yeah, you're just used to it. I've done it for 2 years.
I've done it, and we had such a good time as well. We've mostly focused on how Selfridges has quite a lot of immersive experiences. So we went up to the Jellycat thing, the big piano, the interactive piano that they have in the kids section. And we just walked around. There was a Fenty Beauty pop-up. And just sort of had a little walk around. And
so what were the results of I'd be interested to know, because I feel like the John Lewis customer and Selfridges customer are two very different people.
Yes, and so that was difficult, because in the end there was never really a resolution. There was never this is the final answer, because everything is opinion based, isn't it? But we found for consumers, Selfridges was better because it had immersive experiences. It's got restaurants, it's got basically everything you need. They've got the sustainability, they've got the cruelty-free makeup and all stuff like that. And so I think based off little things, we found that Selfridges was the better overall shop. But again, it's just what you want, isn't it? If you wanted, I don't know, some bedding, you'd go to John Lewis. So that was just it was more personal opinion. And I think that most of my group found that. And the rest of the people, the other groups, I think they found the same sort of thing as well, that generally Selfridges offers more.
Is your new class full of people who have never studied fashion before? Is this their first time?
So I haven't spoken to everyone, but I am determined to sort of go around, I'm trying to learn people's names a little bit more. So some people haven't done anything like this before. One boy in my class, he was doing business, I believe, at sixth form, and then wanted to go on to do uni, but then decided that he actually wanted to come here. And we've got people who live everywhere. Some people travel really far, some people aren't too far. So it's really interesting to see why people have come along and sort of...
Have you got a different range of ages as well? Because usually the level 4, because it's just 1 year, I think a lot of people, it's more attractive to older people who maybe have done a bit of work and then think, actually, I want to go back into education and get a skill, because you can get it in 1 year. Has there been different ages?
I think this year, everyone's sort of the same age range. It's 18 to 20-ish. But I definitely know that sort of goes on. Other people in other classes, they they say that they've got a big age range in their class, which I think is great too, because, you get chatting to people who, are different ages to you, and they might already have industry experience, and they might be able to share that with you. If you're like, if you've got your own company, they might be able to help you out in that. And so I think that aspect's really special with the level 4, that, you've got people of all different ages in some groups, and it's always about like not what it's who you know.
Exactly.
So,
that's so true.
And so people can help out.
Yeah. For your work placement coming up, so when we have the work placement, you get to sort of fill out a bit of like a bio, and you sort of say your areas of interest. Do you sort of know, like, in an ideal world, where would you love to go?
I'm not particularly fussed. I think anywhere I'd be happy with, literally anywhere I'd be happy with, somewhere that's going to offer me a bit of industry placement, someone's going to put me in a workplace and sort of put me in the actual...
In the office,
in the real workplace.
Do you think social media is... You'd love to do some content creation?
I think so. I would love to do that. Whether that was like, ASOS, Pretty Little Thing, or like a higher end company. I honestly wouldn't mind. I think wherever I go, I'd be like, oh my goodness, like, I can't believe I'm finally...
that's the best attitude to have, I think.
Yeah, I'm not particularly fussed. Yeah,
okay.
M&S I'd be happy with.
Yeah, I think M&S is a great
I think M&S is a great one. I know that Ellie did M&S as well, and she said that was great too. And I think...
Their head office is so nice as well.
Yeah, it looked so nice from her stories as well. So... yeah, I think wherever I'd go, I'd be sort of grateful for the experience.
So anyone watching this wanting to study a level 4, maybe they're not sure which one to go for yet, what would you sort of advise them to do?
So I would say definitely come along.
Yeah.
I think I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I didn't want to go to uni, but then I almost didn't feel quite ready to go into work yet. And where the level 4 do offer just 1 year courses, it's 1 year out of your life, and you could do it and you can go, oh my God, I love that. That's given me so much great experience. Or you might say, oh, I actually kind of knew all of that already. But it's a year, and I think that's nothing. You're so young, and you've just got 1 year of your life. You can just gain a little bit more experience. And with the new building as well, I've been saying that it feels very officey, quite corporate vibes. And so already I feel like I'm getting into that work vibe a little bit more. With our previous building, it felt like a college, but now it does feel a lot more corporate. And so I think that when I do go into work, maybe it won't feel like so much of a change. It's not going to feel like such a big step, because I think that with this level 4 course as well, you get properly treated like adults. And
it's preparing you for the workplace.
Exactly,
definitely.
100%. But you get properly prepared for it. And it's not like you're going to leave the level 4 and go into work and think, oh my goodness, like, I don't know what I'm doing here and this feels so daunting. You're going to feel so prepared for it. And so I am excited to sort of see what knowledge this year is going to give me, and then how I can carry that to my work life.
And what about any advice for someone who is going to come and study the digital marketing level 4 course? What would you say?
I would say start building up your digital marketing and like your profile now.
Okay.
Maybe start making...
So what do you mean by that?
So start making little TikToks.
Yeah.
Even if you don't post them.
Okay.
Just start doing little day in the lives or voiceovers, because sometimes you need to do a voiceover and it's like, oh, I hate my voice, or oh, I'm gonna stutter and stuff like that. It doesn't matter, even if you don't post it, it really doesn't matter. And I think you can't go from being scared or being camera shy or not wanting to do things and then all of a sudden go into digital marketing and your homework being film a TikTok, because it's going to be difficult. So even if it's just practice, even if you don't get it posted, but honestly post them.
Okay.
No one cares. Like, it's great. And who's to say that TikTok is not going to get all these views and thousands of likes? And I think if you build that up, then homework's not going to feel like homework. It's just going to feel like
Has
fun.
that been one of your pieces then, to create video editing?
So when we did our John Lewis versus Selfridges little presentation for a little like extra curriculum activity sort of thing, I did a little vlog, and then I did a voiceover on top of that. I used like my mini mic, did a voiceover on top of that and said, come along with us to this is us here. And as well, I don't flourish in my writing as much, and so if I can do a voiceover, I do. Like with my weekly journals, sometimes I do audio weekly journals because I find that, you know, I can just communicate it better than when I'm sat in front of a screen like, oh, I don't know what to say here. I can just talk about it. And, you know, I think as well, when you're speaking, people who are marking it can hear your emotion and they can hear how you're saying it, whereas when they're reading it off of a screen, it doesn't feel so real as opposed to when someone's actually telling you what they got up to.
That's a great tip for level 3.
As well. If you do an audio weekly journal, it's almost as if much like a
more interactive.
Completely. And it's just, it feels a little bit more chill, and like you can just be yourself and just say, hey, this didn't work for me this week. 'Cause sometimes when things go wrong for me, I don't know how to put that into words, because I think as soon as it's written, it has to be completely professional. But when you're just chatting about it, you can sort of just say it, how it happened, what went well that week, what didn't go so well, put that on. And, you know, weekly journals, they don't need to be professional. They don't need to be, have all this amazing grammar and stuff like that. You can just say, this is what happened, this is what didn't happen, this is what went well, this is what didn't.
Yeah, that's great.
So that goes for level 3s as well.
So the sort of scheme of work also totally changes in level 4 as well, because obviously you're not having to do weekly journals anymore.
No.
Are you having to do a new sort of reference style? I remember I had to, and I was like,
there's so many Harvard references. I don't even know what one it's called. I always forget. From what I know, it's the same one.
Okay.
But that's another thing. Like, we've had the tutorials, the weekly referencing tutorials and stuff. And so I think when you've already been a level 3, you carry that over and you sort of know how it all works. I think that's another thing. When people join level 4, they might think, oh no, you know, there's might be people that have already done the level 3 and they're going to know a lot more than me. But, you know, everyone starts fresh. It is very it's not like, oh, well, if you weren't here for the past 2 years, you know, then tough luck. It's very like, okay, we're going to start from base 1 again. So I'm already learning again. It's not like I'm, you know, already doing things that I already know. I'm already learning yet again. Whether that's because it's a new course or not, I don't know. But I think it does definitely feel like a fresh start.
That's great. So you're thoroughly enjoying it?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's great to know. And you would highly recommend the course?
Yes, definitely.
Do you think you'd recommend it to sort of like anyone, even if they're not super interested in digital marketing? Would you say you probably should have a bit of that creative content creation, social media liking?
I think you've definitely got to have some sort of drive for it. You know, I wouldn't do a course that I haven't got a drive in or I've got zero passion in, because I'm going to do the work half-heartedly, because I don't feel like I flourish in it. But when I enjoy what I'm doing, work doesn't feel like work. So I think you've definitely got to have some sort of drive and some sort of passion. But if you aren't 100% sure on what you want to go into in the industry, you just want to be in fashion, I think, you know, there's so many courses out there. You can do a level 4 and you can enjoy it. I suppose
the retail one would probably be best, do you think?
I'd say retail, because it's a lot more broad from what I know. I mean, I can't personally speak because that's the course I haven't done. But from what I know, that's like, buying, merchandising, maybe a little bit of styling there as well. So I think that one's a lot more broad. But if you want to get like proper stuck in, then design all the way.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we'll come to an end. That's a really, really nice episode. I think that is jam-packed with information about the level 4. We don't tend to talk about the level 4 as much because I don't really know many students that do it. But now that I know you do it, it's going to be great. Yeah. And also the digital marketing, I think that's a really cool, interesting course. It's also a course that, digital marketing as a whole in the job industry world is going up in demand massively. Digital marketers, I think it was like, I don't know where I read it, but like it's meant to be one of like the most highest paid jobs soon. So like I think it's a great course to study, and I think we're going to get loads more people come in to study this course. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Joining me
Thank you
today, and I will see you guys next Friday for another episode.